Hi everybody, it's Donna again for Voices of Chronic Pain. Got a hole in this, I just realized. I'm sorry, we're gonna hide it. Captain Obvious, I know. I haven't done a video in a couple weeks. It's been a rough couple weeks for me. On the 8th, I had gone grocery shopping. And depending on who's helping me go, it depends on how much help I get. This time my aunt had taken me, who has a lot of issues herself. She's got a lot of mental health issues. And she varies on her moods as to how much help she'll give. And she'll try to use her... she's got some arthritis in her back, but it's not severe. But she uses it and picks it up and puts it down when it works for her, basically. So I ended up having to do all the work. And doing a month's worth of shopping at a time is overwhelming for me anyway, and I usually pay the price for it for days afterward. And I lose even after the pain levels get back to normal, my stamina is horrible. The most debilitating part of what I deal with, besides the body-wide pain and stuff associated with fibromyalgia, is the back spasms I get. And granted, I know, I'm going to be honest with myself, I know a lot of, my weight definitely contributes to that. However, I was injured. All my pain issues really started back when I think I was 27, from a bad car accident I was in. My car was totaled, somebody else caused the accident, and they labeled it as soft tissue damage. And I currently have a new orthopedic PA who has been wonderful, and we've been kind of going joint by joint to reevaluate and see just what's going on. And after all these years, because it's been a matter of prioritizing really what's been the worst, and my doctor, my prime care doctor, he's all about treating symptoms, but he doesn't do much to deal with the root cause of things. And he just has been, having me on muscle relaxers, and that's really it. So it just got kind of labeled and patted on the head as, soft tissue damage. It's probably a bunch of arthritis in there as well. There is in most of my other joints, so that wouldn't be a huge surprise. But that is what slows me down the most, is I can stand, depending on if I've overdone it or not. If I've overdone it and I'm recovering from that, I get a couple minutes of standing time before I've got to stop and sit down. Because it's kind of like a leg cramp that you get in your calf muscle. If I don't stop, it just keeps getting worse and worse until it goes up, start in my lower back and then go up my back into my neck and shoulders and on my legs to where I can hardly stand or walk to get somewhere to sit down. So I have to really pay attention and stop when I need to. Unfortunately, obviously, that limits how much I can do and when I can do it. Which leads me into kind of what I was going to focus on for this video, the holidays. We are just a few days away from Thanksgiving. And for those who celebrate, if anyone's even going to see this before Thanksgiving or for Thanksgiving, I host it in my family here at my house because my family is really, really small. Most of us have passed on, and, each generation has not had, we've had kind of less and less children each generation. So there really isn't that many of us left. I myself only had one daughter, and that was it. So, it is varied. And so really my whole family consists of, I have one brother I have out of my life, and one who's in, but I keep him kind of at arm's length because he has mental health issues that can be detrimental to my health. Then there is my aunt, her two sons who are now grown. One's like 25 and the other's almost 30 this January. And their father, which is her ex-husband. And that's really it, unless, whatever prospective partner somebody has, like if the boys, we call them the boys, it's my cousins, if they have a girlfriend or whatever, then we call them family because there's so few of us, so we accept them as such whilst they're together, and sometimes even after they break up, depending how long they were together for. So that's really my whole family. I have a few, like, really, really far out, second cousins who haven't been in my life since I was a very little girl, so I don't really count them. my aunt can't cook very well, so I volunteered to take over Thanksgiving dinner a handful of years ago when I discovered that she kind of wrecks the turkey. um, yeah, it's bad, bad. So I offered in a nice way to do it here. I didn't mention it, you suck at making a turkey. But I put it as, oh, I have such a bigger dining room table that we can use and more space because your house is really, really small compared to mine. And we can fit everybody. So it's not fair that you should have to do Christmas and Thanksgiving together. Let me handle Thanksgiving. Sounded good. So that's what I took on doing. However, I was not as bad as I am now a few years ago when I took this on. I mean, yes, it's always been a struggle to do it all because you have to clear out most of the living room furniture to make room, because my dining room table is like a old farmhouse style table. You can seat, like, with the leaves in the table, it can seat like 10 people comfortably. It's big. So, everything has to, pretty much be moved out of the living room, and then the tabletop comes off separate. It's not like one unit. They're not connected to the frame of it. So that probably weighs, maybe 100 pounds. I mean, it is a heavy sucker. And then the base itself is probably 40 to 50 pounds. I mean, it's a heavy, solid table. And, so to move all the furniture myself, do all the cleaning on top of the cooking, I did that last year, and I was such a wreck for dinner. It was horrible. I paid the price. By the time I sat down to eat, I was hurting too much to eat and enjoy dinner. Last year was bad anyway. My aunt's husband passed away just a month before, and she was still a disaster, even though he didn't participate in any of our family events. He would eat later. I mean, he might show up and just kind of hang out or be a presence there, but he wouldn't sit down and eat and enjoy a meal with us or anything else. So why she was taking it so hard, who knows, but she did, and she ended up leaving because she was too upset to stay. So we just kind of carried on without her. And this year, my one cousin, the 25-year-old, it's a massive stressful event. For being so few of us, these people make it so hard on me to do this and to organize. And I tend to have, like most of us, perfectionistic tendencies, kind of OCD on some things. And, when I'm planning stuff, I want my ducks in a row. I want to know everything's set and taken care of, and how many people I'm having, and how to set the table, and so forth. And to me, growing up, it was always a very formal event for Thanksgiving. You dressed up, you were on your absolute best behavior, and so forth. And in her family, my aunt's, chaos. Once my mom passed away, we went to her house, my daughter and I, for the first time for Thanksgiving. Oh my God. Food throwing across the table, lewd, crude sex jokes being told amongst the boys and their father, and she's just allowing it and carrying on. And I mean, I just walked away from it being so appalled. Now, 12 years later, I'm used to it, and she is the born-again Christian type who is very, she's one of those who can be very judgmental despite her belief system, and every year she makes a drama out of it with, well, I don't know if I'm going to come, and everybody gets so rude and disrespects my beliefs. Nobody disrespects her beliefs. She's the only one who is a born-again Christian amongst the rest of us. But nobody teases her, nobody makes fun of her. She wants to pray before she eats or whatever. Cool, go ahead, do your own thing. The rest of us kind of do our thing. And I don't believe in censoring people in my house. And I'm not going to, even unless they're fighting or something like that. You know what? It is what it is. We get together as a family twice a year, so I can tolerate, the crudeness and whatever. And I do. And she'll try to, well, I'm not going to come unless, nobody's dropping the F-bomb, or no one's saying this, or no one's saying that. And it's like, you know what? No, it's my house. You will not say who can say what and do what here. Not your house. At Christmas time, we all behave ourselves and respect your beliefs to behave. So here, if you're going to be here, then the reverse is true. You got to handle yourself or don't come. And then her one son, even though Thanksgiving is every year, he always plans on working for it, but he waits until he gets his schedule the week of to find out what time he's going to be working or if he can come or not. And this year he's engaged, so I had really wanted to include his fiance. Anyway, finally I was like, dude, you do this every year, and this doesn't have to be so stressful, so can you just say yes or no? And he said, plan it without me. Fine. Okay, cool. I'm done, wrestling with that fact every year. Yeah, and I said, Thanksgiving's coming every year, and you don't plan for it. You don't take a day off, which it seems like you could for being we're together twice a year, but he won't. So whatever, he does his thing, fine. But in this year, I do and have enlisted help with moving everything. But I'm still concerned with, being able to cook dinner. It's a lot, and there's going to be 7 or 8 of us total. And, I know if I ask, I'll have the help I need, but that's one thing I think that is a huge adjustment for us, because we are usually the caregiver type of personalities. I think you'd agree. Most of us are. Most of us are used to, fussing over everybody else, being the rock of the family, being the ones, when we were healthy, taking care of everything for everybody, and we came last. That doesn't go away when you develop a chronic illness or you get sick or, whatever disease you contract. That doesn't stop that mentality, and it can take years to get past that and to accept your condition. And even then, and yes, there are some people who have accepted it and they've given up and they just, want constant attention and the I can't do anything thing without even trying. Sure, it's important to know your limitations, but you can go too far the other direction with it. And I am worried and saddened that this may be the last year I can handle doing it, because it is so much. And I hate to give it up because of being a control freak. And like this year, my aunt offered to do it at her house because she got a new stove and stuff. And so I put it to a vote, so to speak, between her ex-husband, the kid's father, and her eldest son. The youngest one never offers his opinion, so it's whatever. And he's like, well, I want it at your house, or, can you cook and bring it to Mom's house? Because he has a lot of bad allergies and stuff, so being here after an hour or so gets rough on him with his allergies. I get it. My house tends to be very dusty, and I'm out in the woods near the road. Kicks up a lot of debris. I've got a dog and 2 cats, and I do my best to clean up everything as much as I can before he comes, but take your allergy medicine, dude. So in the end, everyone, sorry, my dog just stepped on my foot, decided to have it here, which, okay, great. I take pride in that, but at the same time, how do you reconcile that of saying and admitting to people, I just can't do it? And of course, the guys don't get how much work goes into it. They take it for granted. They come, everything's already done. The food is being put on the table when they get here. They don't see all the behind-the-scenes work that goes into it, the extra money you have to spend on all the food, because I end up, whoever's hosting it buys most of the food and provides that. And this year my aunt was like, well, I hope you guys can take care of that because I don't have it. I can maybe bring some cranberry sauce or something. 49-cent can. Wow, okay. That's your choice, whatever. And then she dropped off some stuff that I had her pick up from the store for me this week. And she said, oh, well, do you want me to make some rolls or bread? I said, you already made it clear that you can't do that. Well, I can make bread. That's just flour and yeast and stuff. Well, that still takes money to buy that stuff if you don't have it on hand. So you should have offered before I went grocery shopping, because then I bought rolls. So, that's how my family operates. It makes it more harder and stressful than it has to be. But all that stress is known to exacerbate fibromyalgia symptoms and cause a flare-up. I work really hard to keep my house calm and peaceful to avoid that if at all possible. And it's not always possible, because sometimes, stuff happens beyond your control, or drama happens with other people, or, when I have to overdo it and push it, which by normal standards, by normal people, is not overdoing it and pushing it. But for me and my limitations, it is. And I pay for the price of it. I didn't expect it to have the effect on me. It did. But yesterday I overdid it, and also got up. I took a nap and slept way longer than I thought I would. Overshot my meds by like 2.5 hours. I was a flipping mess. I was hurting so much bad. I was in such bad pain that my meds didn't touch it, and I was in tears. So, I don't know how you guys handle your holidays, and how you get through it with whatever your disability is and your chronic pain issue is. So if anybody sees this, if you could like the video and subscribe, hit that little thumbs up button for me, and leave me a comment below saying how you do the holidays and get through the holidays in your family. Any tips you might have for other people, I welcome that. And if there's anybody who's interested in me interviewing you just one-on-one via Skype, and then I post it separately, I did one video. The memory card on my device didn't want to hold the entire thing, so it was kind of pieced together. So I do apologize for that, but she was very adamant, and she wanted to be interviewed and keep going with it, but of course, you can only record so long. So if there's anybody else who's interested in that, I would love to have that, and I welcome that, because it is voices of chronic pain, not just my voice of chronic pain. So hopefully somebody will see this video and let me know what you think. And until next time, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, or whatever you might celebrate or not celebrate, covering the bases. And until next time, take care. Big gentle hugs, everybody, and love to all. Bye.